Welcome back to an episode. We are again somewhere on the Normandy, and it's time for us to enter the Galaxy map. Then we're gonna have a little bit of a, well, exploration time or something. Anyway, conquered systems. Oh boy. Clusters already conquered by the Reapers can be accessed using the Normandy stealth drive. Search these clusters for survivors, salvage, and valuable intel. Okay, so we got recover the Prothean artifact. This is a Reaper thing. This is another one. This is another one. Rescue the Turian Primarch. Another one. Serpent Nebula. That's where the Citadel is. Okay, and Annos Basin. What am I gonna do? So first, we are. It feels as if the sensitivity is a little bit lower than before. That's weird. Anyway, Cerberus Lamp, that's that thing. Alright. So first, we're gonna check Annos Basin. I don't know what this is, but let's just check that out. Oh. That's very interesting. Ooh, that's a good one. Really nice animation. So, what do we got? The Normandy is equipped with a new and improved scanning pulse that can detect objects of interest. Use this to uncover war assets, artifacts, intel, and fuel as you fly around the system. Be aware, however, that each time the pulse is used, the chance that Reapers will enter the system to investigate is increased. If a Reaper enters the system, you are in, flee, and wait until you have completed a mission before returning. Okay, so we have to complete a mission, but there's not always a mission, I presume. So we can scan with the right click, and there was something else around here. So we could use the right click thing to scan stuff. But what if we were to just look at things? Can we just check it manually so that we can sneak around the whole situation? That would be sweet. Anyway, Paeto. Paeto, a carbonaceous asteroid, became notable for element 0 deposits. The deposits which indicate it was an extrasolar capture were discovered by the Solarians shortly before they found the mass relay in the Farinata System. Naturally, all element 0 was mined out long ago. The asteroid is named for the clan of Paeto II Ginon Mal Enest, Dut Solem Amar, known to humans as Amar Solem. This shy, retiring eccentric was an undergraduate when more important astrogeologists passed off their first ESO deposit to him. He ran the fateful test that discovered its mass-affecting properties. For 3 centuries after his death, rival clans fought for credit for the discovery, but the truth won out after a lengthy academic war. Alright, so that's not it. The thing is, we also don't have a percentage that tells us we have explored yada yada yada. As a fuel depot, alright. We are maxed out on fuel for now. Let's just scan that thing. Yeah, scanning works differently right now. So it's a more focused approach. Oh, wait, what? Plot mass relay jump, yeah. There's also no jumping mechanic over here. So I don't know. Halegeuse. Spacer investors are fond of saying you can't exhaust the gas giant, but the Solarians have certainly tried. Halegeuse is home to a thriving community of robo-miners and those who work in helium-free collection and refinement. More than 16 of Halegeuse's more metallic moons have been settled. The giant bears the name of the Halegeuse Corporation, which combined the best efforts of several Solarian clans to manufacture the advanced shielding necessary to colonize the planet's moons. The planet's magnetosphere retains massive amounts of radioactive ions from Pranash, the system's star. Because of this, the cities on the moons are subsurface, protected from lethal radiation levels by shielding and thick layers of rock. Halegeuse was bought out centuries ago, but the name endures as a symbol of Solarian innovation and cooperation. So let's go to the next one. Dragel. The tiny rock planet Dragel is notable for its status as a strategic reserve of heavy metals and bands. It has been warmed slightly by a thin atmosphere of nitrogen and carbon monoxide. but otherwise remains hostile to life. In the clandestine fashion typical of Solarians, a military outpost orbits the planet but does not appear on Alliance maps. Like the Saradril, Dragel is named for the matrilineal clan that sent the first manned mission to the planet's surface. However, a thriving minority from the Sylar clan who sent the first manned mission to orbit the planet insists to this day that their landing attempt was sabotaged by the Dragels and the planet should bear their name. Relations between the two clans remain tense. Surkesh. The Solarian homeworld has been likened to the jungles of Earth, pretty to look at, teeming with life, uncomfortable to live in, and dangerous to the unwary. The technophilic Solarians had significant population and waste problems early in the development of their society. They also embraced social solutions just as quickly, and through complex breeding rules, Surkesh now maintains a crowded but sustainable population. The planet tends to be wetter than Earth, and Solarian cities spare no expense to collect and provide fresh water, as one might expect from an amphibious species. Due to Surkesh's location in the galaxy far from dark space, it has yet to be invaded by the Reapers, but its rulers are all too aware that they are in the path of attack. Because they could not strike the first blow as their military doctrine suggests, many already consider their forces at severe disadvantage. 10 billion people live on this thing. That's a lot of people. So, and Saradril. Cacus sister planet is in a weak hothouse state, retaining enough carbon dioxide and monoxide to form an atmosphere thicker than a garden's world, but thinner than a true hothouse like Venus. In the early days of Solarian space exploration, the species saw mining the planet as an engineering challenge. When the Solarians made contact with the Asari, the robo-mining industry developed for planets like Saradril quickly became the galactic standard. The planet is named for the Saradril clan, specifically the Solarian Delatras Saradril II, Sorazon Malnitia Patore Nura, who sponsored the first manned mission to the planet. In antiquity, the planet was named for various gods, as well as the astronomer who first classified it as a planet rather than a star. But Nura's political machinations won out, and the planet now bears her clan's name on all standard Solarian star maps. Interesting. So, and there is a little ring in the center. Okay, there. See that? There's a ring here. I don't know where that ring is coming from, but I expect there to actually be something. Or maybe there's something inside the sun now. Okay, so let's get ourselves into safety right now, and then we can use the scanning pulse. Do we just scan the whole system, or? That's not how that works, okay. Okay. So... Okay, so you can use the scanning pulse, but if there's nothing, there's nothing, right? So there is nothing on Annos Basin. What am I gonna do with the other Reapers thingies here? I don't know if this is actually safe or not. The Turian Primarch, that's a side mission. Recover the Prothean artifact, Kite's nest, and Hades Gamma. I mean, we could... there's another mission right over there. Cerberus Lab. I mean, I'm gonna check out Kite's nest here. Let's see if that works. I don't know if the Reapers are just coming towards me. Nothing happens for now. Let's just fly around. Oh, wait a minute. Okay, everything seems to be safe for now. There's also Untrel. What do we have here? Untrel and Harsa. Okay. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Like, they have made scanning maybe a little easier, but they still put like Reapers in it. Oh, maybe this is what it means. So if there are Reapers on the thing, and if you use the scanning device, then you're screwed. Okay, I think this is how that works. Alright, so let's just check out this one over here. Speculas. Speculas is a relatively large rock and ice planet known for its deposits of magnetically active pyroclast, which interferes with some starship scans. Conspiracy theories and pulp adventure claim that secret fortresses are concealed under the ice. The Reaper invasion force appears to have passed the planet by, which is likely the only insight that organics will ever have into the Reaper's literary taste. Then there's this one. I can just hope that the scanning also works if you just check out the thingies manually. That would be nice. A tiny rock and ice planet, Ilem, that is now missing much of its ice. Ilem was part of a grand project by hegemony dictator known as Grebosht the Mad. His aim was to drop enormous chunks of Ilem's ice on the surface of otherwise uninhabitable desert planets in the hopes of creating sustainable lakes and seas. Wiser heads than he pointed out that diverting a comet was more plausible, but Grebosht executed those who disagreed with him. Grebosht's career was surprisingly long, given his loose grip on reality, mostly because his projects employed large numbers of Batarians. Today, Ilem lies abandoned. Hegemony spy drones still orbit the planet, but it is doubtful anyone on Karshan is paying attention to what data they sent back. Varouche. Varouche is a hydrogen-helium gas giant named for an ancient Batarian monarch whose empire spanned continents. He had such a penchant for mating that 0.6% of modern Batarians claim to trace their lineage to him. The planet's moons are named after his many recognized wives. The largest, Bira, concealed Prothean ruins that helped the Batarians develop FDA travel. It is a Batarian point of pride that since the ruins were damaged by earthquake, they had less information to go on than other spacefaring species. The Reapers have destroyed all obvious military outposts in Varouche's orbit. The Batarians' notorious secrecy, however, may have allowed concealed subterranean facilities on Varouche's moons to survive. What was that? So there is definitely something happening here. Interesting. So there's an asteroid thingy that's important. And then there's Karshan. Karshan, the Batarian homeworld, is wrapped less in mystery than in outright lies. Batarian propaganda claims the world has 15 billion inhabitants and an economy that rivals the Asari. Although the legal slave trade does boost the Batarians' profits somewhat, Citadel sanctions have left a paper tiger of an empire, one that fights rivals through deniable terrorist actions rather than the wars of its heyday centuries ago. The Reapers will likely be the death blow to that empire. Almost no information has escaped Karshan since the Reapers destroyed the compost, but Batarian refugees say that resistance has created a bond among the commoners if a new government can rise from the ashes. That bond may sustain a new Batarian society. Okay, so every sun has a little ring in it, but that ring has nothing to do with there being any planets. And Dasta. The dwarf planet Dasta was explored in the beginnings of the Batarian space age and mined for its unusual occurrence of uranium, which was rare on Karshan. Whether the planet has been completely mined out is unclear. Accurate data on the planet was lost after a power struggle within the Batarian government. The Reaper attack has further worsened the information flow. Alright, I do want to use the scan, but not quite sure. Okay, let's scan over here. Okay, Reaper. Oh. Oh.
I found something.
Okay. Do not scan too much, otherwise you're screwed. The thing is, you can only use the scan, the scan does not... Assets recovered, 0%, okay. The thing is, the scan doesn't show everything immediately. You have to actually scan the system, point by point. And the whole Reaper alertness is really annoying. Okay, so what do we have here? Wreckage. The wreckage of a fuel depot destroyed by enemy forces. Fuel can be salvaged from the debris. Recovered 300 units of fuel. Did we? That's a bit. 33 assets recovered. Okay, so that means there are more assets around. Oh boy. Far too many Reapers. And Karshan, start the scanner. Yeah, now I can start the... Yeah, sure. That's not how that works. At least we have infinite probes. What now? Lost and found. 1 out of 10. Citadel, Pillars of Strength. Anything else? Nah, there's nothing there. It is extremely slow for some reason. It's really weird. It doesn't behave the same as it would before. Anyway, so we got 66%. That means there's still more. I scanned somewhere over here. Got those 2 planets. I didn't scan down here though. That could be the last one. And I did scan somewhere over there, so that should actually get this one and this one. So if I were to leave an area, what would happen then? It still says like not many percentages. Okay. If we enter the system, the alert level is still the same. If I were to go somewhere else though, what would happen then? Okay, no scanning problems here. That's good. And let's just explore that one. Nothing here. Nothing in the asteroid belt. Alright. So let's just get the planets. What about this one? Uza. Uza is a methane-rich gas giant. Wreckage around the helium-free infrastructure is unusual. It looks as if fleeing Batarians tried to sever the collection equipment and take it with them when they were attacked. No Reaper ships, functional or otherwise, are immediately detectable, suggesting that the Batarians may have actually turned on each other. Asgard. According to Batarian propaganda, the Batarian population exceeds the Council races. The Batarian military is the most powerful, and the Batarians' unlivable hothouse planets are the hottest and most unlivable. Their best proof of this last point is Asgard, which closely orbits the scorching yellow-white star Untrel. Asgard's nitrogen-heavy atmosphere might once have held oxygen, but if so, it burned off long ago. Even robo-miners don't care for Asgard, although some modern mining equipment can withstand the heat. The machinery still gets stuck in the soup of molten light metals on the planet's surface. Reaper presence near Asgard seems light. Scans reveal wreckage orbiting the planet, likely destroyed hegemony surveillance drones. Oh! Okay, so I have to scan over here. The text is a hint where to scan. Very interesting. So you don't waste your scans. And Kloss. Kloss is a rock planet with almost no atmosphere to speak of. Consequently, the planet retains fairly little heat, considering how close it orbits to an energetic star. The relatively mild temperature made Kloss attractive for robo-mining, with an emphasis on platinum. The planet also has an abundance of sodium oxide, used in the manufacture of lye, but profit margins on the compound are thin by comparison. The Reapers have destroyed the orbital stations surrounding Kloss and cut the strands of the space elevators that early generations of Batarians used to transport goods to orbit. Okay, so this was the second one. And then what about this thing? Ardek is a brutally hot and wet garden world, covered with molds and lichen and analogs. It has many viruses and bacteria lethal to Batarian physiology. Hegemony colonized Ardek early in its expansion, but few of the colonists wanted to stay. The result was domination by a class of landed slave owners. A small cadre of well-paid engineers and skilled laborers kept the planet's mechs and infrastructure functioning. Alliance estimates put the planet's Batarian population at just over 6 million, but that number has likely fallen since the Reapers have arrived. Alright, so I am going to scan over here.
Signal confirmed.
Oh. Far too much. Okay. Let's investigate whatever this is. The thing is, there's stuff in the middle of nowhere. Oh, we got 100 units of fuel, at least something. And it's 50%. I am so screwed. The thing is, they move.
Evasion successful.
Yeah. That's so annoying.
Reapers eluded.
Yeah, it says that we can run away from them, but it's still at 50%. That's not nice. The Reaver dodge mechanism is very annoying. Okay, what do we got here? Come on. Doesn't work.
Faster than light jump successful.
Okay, so we have to get there again. This is the most annoying feature about the whole thing, because there are always Reapers around and you can't do anything about it. Except if you brute force it. I don't know if they actually leave or not.
Evasion successful.
Alright, let's try this again. There's something on that planet. Oh, they actually become faster.
Reapers eluded.
That's not nice. Oh no. Not good. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Hey, we got 10,000 credits. Was it worth it? I don't know. Is there more? No. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Ooh, yeah.
Faster than light jump successful.
We got it. Okay, now it's just a problem of fuel. Not nice. Okay.
Evasion successful.
Okay, there's something on the big planet.
Reapers eluded.
Alright, Varouche, let's get this one. Every time they say something about Reapers have destroyed stuff, this is a hint where to scan. There you go. What do we get? Lost and found, 3 out of 10. A weapon upgrade kit, yeah, look at that. Nice. So, let's see. And go, 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 go. Okay.
Faster than light jump successful.
The thing that you have to do is turn around.
Evasion successful.
Okay, we got 100%. Perfect. So what you have to do, in order to control the position of the Normandy, is you have to align it so that it points towards the point of the circle where to enter. So let's say you are on the on the systems map here. Let's go to Annos Basin real quick in order to show you. Well, actually, we can't show it because we... But... So, let's say I want to enter from this point over here. So I have to turn the Normandy this way, right? So that it points into the circle this way. If I want to enter the that system from down here, for example, I have to orient it this way. So if I want to enter through a very specific point in order to shortcut kind of through the whole thing, and there's nothing here, great. Yeah, if I want to shortcut through the whole thing, then it's important that I select the right location, and as a result, oh, this is very expensive. Wasting fuel is not good. Why does Pranas not have anything? There's nothing here. Absolutely bloody nothing. Alright. Okay. The best way with the scanning, because you don't know where this stuff is to, well, look at the text, see if there's flavor text that could indicate it, and then do the first few scans, and then you have to brute force it if you don't actually get it to work. Okay, yeah, this is at 100%. Sadly, it doesn't show that immediately. Where else? Hades Gamma is the thing that I'm gonna go next. But first, let's just exit that thingy and save a little bit. I have to make sure that I'm not dying here. Oh yeah, wait. We got ourselves the some weapon upgrade kit, didn't we? Wait a minute. Where's the? How do I upgrade again? Upgrade through here? Crew deck, crew to the top, so deck and life support, engine, cargo, starboard, subdeck, armory, cargo hold, shuttle. That's not helping. Private terminals, private messages sent to you, nothing. Okay, wait.
Commander Shepard.
There's a war room down here, but I don't know where the upgrades were. Great lag. It could be in the armory though. Yeah, there's just a control thingy. Yeah, it's just the powers over there. But what I need is not this.
Commander.
So, where do I want to go? Combat information centers over here. Crew deck, maybe? No. Could be engineering. No, it's not engineering. Shuttle bay. Yeah, that's where the upgrades are. No, wait a minute. This is my armory. And it's black. Actually, I want to change the first color into something more usually whitish. This is the whitest thing that I have. That's not white. Why is there no white? Come on. I usually have a whitish kind of armor. That's too green. That's the whitest thing that they have. Great. That's a bit too black. For now, at least. Okay, there's the lieutenant. Procurement interface. Do we? No. Weapon upgrades. There you go. No, wait a minute. It's weapons and not really other stuff. No. What is it? Okay. Do I have any good modifications for this one? No. Got some upgrade thingy, but I don't know where it is. You gotta be kidding me. It's definitely none of those weapons, but the thing is we have gotten a decent amount of credits now. Well, we do have some codex thingies. We got any level ups? Not really. Got 4 points, but I want to keep them for now. I really do miss the normal upgrade mechanic with the armory thing. Maybe it can be found in here. No. 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 Do we have anything else around here? That's just casual appearance and stuff again. So this thing is there twice. I'm actually looking for something different. Oh, look! We got almost all of our ships back. Nice. That's just the new things that we need to find. Alright, anyway. There's more on the space map that we need to figure out.
Commander?
Okay, she can't say anything there. Good. Alright. There's nothing over here. So we are going for Hades Gamma. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Cacus, Farinata, this, Plutus. So many worlds. Alright. Let's see. Let's start from the outside of the rings. Hunidor. Hunidor is a moderately sized ice world with an extremely thin atmosphere, composed of krypton and xenon. Its frozen surface is unusually smooth, suggesting widespread repaving by cryovolcanic processes, though no such activity is currently evident. Vemal. Vemal is an enormous terrestrial world of mixed rock and ice with an atmosphere of methane and ethane. Its frozen surface is mainly composed of calcium, with deposits of iron. Because of noxious surface gases, explorers are warned to use extreme caution. And Ploba. Sounds like a plumber. Ploba is the second and by far the largest of Antaeus' two gas giants. Active scans by survey ships have returned tantalizing indications of massive solid structures deep within the atmosphere, too regular in pattern to be anything natural. Some believe Ploba is a Jupiter brain, a planet-sized supercomputer. Adherents of this theory have fruitless beamed signals towards the sunken megastructures, hoping to get the machine's attention. Others believe that an ancient spacefaring race disposed their weapons of war by dumping them into the planet. The last attempt to reach and salvage Ploba's deep anomalies went tragically wrong and ended with a crew of 12 being trapped and crushed in the gas giant's lower atmosphere. Atmos. Atmos is a standard hydrogen-helium gas giant with traces of methane in its atmosphere. If Trebin's terraforming is successful, it is expected that a helium-free fuel refining facility for the system will be set up here. And Trebin. Trebin is a modest terrestrial world with an atmosphere composed of nitrogen and argon. Its surface is mainly composed of nickel with deposits of silver. The turbines' environment is relatively mild, but the scarcity of water or similar enabling substances has prevented the development of any biosphere. Agincourt recently performed a test impact of a single water ice comet into the surface, the first step of a long-term plan to thicken the atmosphere and introduce water to the environment. A survey team is on the surface, monitoring the geological and meteorological effects of the test impact. Most of the water released is still in the form of atmospheric vapor, but thick cloud banks have formed. There's every indication that this arid world will soon see its first rain. The survey team's progress has been hampered by frequent mechanical and computer failures in their GPS satellites. And Agincourt. During the initial survey of the Antaeus system, only a single flyby probe was spared for the small scorched world of Agincourt. It appeared a planet unusually rich in heavier elements given its size. Agincourt is a standard terrestrial with a thin atmosphere of krypton and xenon. Its crust is mainly composed of magnesium with deposits of cobalt and other heavy metals. Due to extremely rough, cratered terrain, starships are discouraged from landing. So, and that was mostly all of them. Let's see.
I found something.
Ah, come on. Like, one scan, right? And it's already too much. At least once you scan, there's like no continuous movement on the Reaper. Oh, you can use WA as and D to do that, or at least A and D. That's nice. So it moves a little faster. What now? Lost and found. 10,000 credits. Again. Salvage credits recovered. Okay. So, how much we got? 50%. So there's one more thing. Question is just where do we need to scan? So it's not on those. We are so screwed.
Reapers eluded.
So, okay, let's try this again. I have to get into that one. Oh, there's something. Oh, that's stupid. Ah, come on. The thing is, you cannot press a button. Oh, that's not good. Okay, that's okay.
Faster than light jump successful.
The thing is, you have to click on the button at the bottom right. You cannot just hit a key in order to do that. And because the movement of the Normandy is done by the Mars, and you have to put a button in here, you cannot do this stuff at the same time. And this is very, very, very annoying. Alright. So, let's see what else we got here in Hades Gamma. Varia. Varia is a huge hydrogen helium gas giant with traces of methane in its atmosphere. Nothing here? Good. So, and the other planets. Nonuel. Though it is one of the oldest entries in the star charts, Nonuel has not yet been fully mapped. It is the largest body in the asteroid belt of the blue star, Plutus, but not only large enough to maintain a spheric shape, but also massive enough to retain the noxious carbon and sulfur dioxides venting from its many volcanoes as an atmosphere. Nonuel is rapidly volcanic, and the source of its great heat is also the source of its inordinate mass. Nonuel is a secondary source of element zero, coalesced around a large chunk of ESO ejected by a supernova billions of years ago. Surface conditions are extremely hazardous. In addition to the thin crust and numerous magma flows, wide stretches of the landscape are coated with slippery ash and cinders eject from the volcanoes. Okay, you can't use F. You can't use Enter. E and Q don't work. W, A, S, and D don't work. Yeah. Would be nice if at least space hits that button here. But it doesn't. Crocolus is a modest rock planet, roughly the size of Mars. It has a thin atmosphere of carbon dioxide and ethane. Its scorching hot surface is mainly composed of silicate rock with deposits of aluminum and other light metals. Crocolus has a very weak magnetic field. In addition to very high levels of solar radiation, it is not suitable for Mass Effect drive discharge operations. Meidla. Meidla is a terrestrial planet with a light atmosphere of carbon dioxide and hydrogen sulfide. The surface is hot, mainly composed of magnesia with deposits of sulfur. Over a dozen volcanoes are currently erupting around the surface. Mingito. Mingito is a sun-baked wasteland of sodium chlorates and radioactives. Its relative light mass has left it tightly locked to the star Plutus, with a day-side hot pole and a night-side cold pole. The powerful solar wind has stripped most of the atmosphere away. Alright, now, let's do 2 scans, one of them over here.
Signal confirmed.
1 scan, you get so much. I don't know why 1 scan gets the alertness that high. That's so stupid. There. Lost and found. Another one. Special Ops Team Zeta. And 103rd Marine Division update. Did they die or not? Or maybe this was a marine thingy. So yeah, this one. And there's this little planet. 100% acid recovered already. That's good. That's very good news. So next up is this. I don't have enough fuel for these shenanigans. Alright, let's just fly around the ring first. Nothing. The thing is, they said something about the Normandy having a stealth drive, but I have no clue how to use that. Raisha. Raisha is a standard hydrogen helium gas giant with traces of sodium and ammonia in its atmosphere. During the brief gold rush to Klensal, a few companies established an infrastructure for helium-free skimming and deuterium mining on Raisha's icy moon. When Klensal proved to be less wealthy than expected, the facilities were stripped for parts and abandoned. Klensal, almost the same name. Klensal has a thin atmosphere of carbon dioxide and ethane. Its first geological surveys were performed by Batarians and suggested areas of great mineral wealth. Human mining concerns spent billions of credits hustling to the distant system and seeking test bores to claim the system for humanity. But Klensal had only an average level of mineral wealth, valuable but hardly worth the rush and expense. Merida Industria, a small Mexican company hoping to strike it rich in their first extrasolar mining venture, had to file for bankruptcy protection. Investigation revealed the Batarian crew had deliberately falsified the surveys, hoping it would encourage human rivals to invest in a costly boondoggle while unethical. This was not technically legal, and the Batarian government disavowed the personal actions of a few misguided patriots. The planet is still littered with abandoned mining bases, which are often used as temporary meeting places for criminals. Remar. Remar is an icy terrestrial with a thin atmosphere of carbon dioxide and krypton. Its surface is mainly composed of frozen ammonia with deposits of tin and other light metals. When exposed to sunlight, Remar's ammonia can melt, forming equatorial seas of the toxic chemical. This has allowed a profusion of simple fungus and lichens to evolve in the low-energy environment. A byproduct of their metabolism causes them to glow very faintly. While the light of an individual is insignificant, large patches seem to reinforce the lights of one another and are visible from space. Near Room. Nearum is a terrestrial world with a thin atmosphere of methane and argon. Its frozen surface is mainly composed of basaltic rock. Its most prominent feature is the Elos Rift Valley, a long volcanic divergence zone that stretches across half of the northern hemisphere. Jatar. Jatar is a terrestrial world with a trace atmosphere of krypton and xenon. The surface is hot and primarily composed of unremarkable silicates. Occasional deposits of aluminum, magnesium, and other light metals can be found. Jatar is noted for the discovery of the Leviathan of Dis, the apparent corpse of a genetically engineered living starship. The Leviathan was found in the bottom of a crater by a Batarian survey team and established to be nearly 1 billion years old. It disappeared after a visit to the system by a Batarian dreadnought 20 years ago. Since then, the Batarians have steadfastly denied that the Leviathan existed at all the more ferociously when shown recordings of the corpse made by Solarian researchers. And I think this was all of them. This one, this one, this one, this one, this one. Yeah. Alright, so let's scan over here. Nothing.
I found something.
Oh, crap. Not cool. At least we got some fuel. Okay, I have to enter from the top.
Evasion successful.
Right, like that. Enter orbit. This way. Let's just hope I can get away from this. 10,000 credits again, and credits recovered. Alright. We are fairly fast. But the Reapers do actually get faster after a certain amount of time. So, let's get to Farinata. We're wasting so much fuel. Unbelievable. Right. Let's check the asteroid belts again. That sun is far too bright. Far too bright. Okay. That one is good. I can't see anything. Oh. Okay, there's something over here. Let's remember that spot. So let's start from the center. Tun Shagon. Tun Shagon is a hydrogen-helium gas giant with traces of chlorine and nitrogen in its atmosphere. It has an unusually small number of moons for a gas giant, a mere 7. This is likely due to the star Farinata capturing the majority of mass during the nebular collapse of that created the system. So anything in the center of this thing? No. So there's this thing. Then there's this thing, and then there are 2 planets on the outside. Juntauma. Juntauma is a small, broiling terrestrial world. Its thin atmosphere of carbon dioxide and ethane is being steadily blown off by the powerful solar wind from the star Farinata. The surface is scorching hot and mainly composed of sulfur with deposits of copper. Its density is low enough to leave the world tightly locked to Farinata. The Alliance Defense Data Network notes that several ships have been spotted cruising near Juntauma with transponders turned off, while an Alliance patrol attempted pursuit of one. The unidentified vessel rabbited through FTL. Its trail was lost when it obscured its light trace in the confusion of signals along the Anansi Ishtar shipping lane. This system is far too big to go around. Nepnoi. With a rare combination of features, Nepnoi is of particular interest to the scientific community. Nepnoi is a small terrestrial planet with a thin atmosphere of carbon dioxide and krypton. As with all the worlds of Farinata, its surface is scorching hot. The crust mainly consists of silicates laced with iron. Alright, now, there's something over here. Yeah, let's try to scan
Signal
those through.
confirmed.
Far too many. Alright. And it still continues. Scan, scan, scan. And we got ourselves a little bit of fuel to go back. That's good. Oh, 50%. That's nice. That means we don't have to run away from the Rippers again. Sweet. And almost there. There. Lost and found 7 out of 10. We're gonna get there. Lion's Frigate, Agincourt. And the first fleet is updated. Alright. So either it was destroyed, or we got the thing. Both's good. So, 100, 100, 100, 100. Next one is Cacus. And then I have to figure out Antaeus somehow. Oh, yeah. Alright. Farinata. A large but low density terrestrial world, Farinata is generally believed to consist mainly of water ice. Occasional upwelling of metals caused by the intergalactic tidal forces of several large moons suggests the core is small but extremely dense. Farinata has a thin atmosphere of carbon dioxide and ethane. Its frozen surface is mainly composed of dark carbon-laced water ice. 13 years ago, Farinata's grim surface, color, and dim illumination threw the cinematographer Risa Uversen to film the exterior scene of Starless on location. Acknowledged as a masterpiece of goth horror, the sets, well preserved by the vacuum, draw hundreds of tourists to the backwater system every year. That sounds like something that you could scan. There's Xamari. Xamari is a small, airless crater terrestrial, a lifeless rock quite similar to Luna. Its frozen surface is mainly composed of silicates, though one hemisphere has several seas of dark basaltic rock. Traiamus. Traiamus is a hydrogen-helium gas giant with a powerful magnetic field, making it a popular discharge site for freighters working the Anansi-Ishtar shipping route. It is popular enough, in fact, that Quarian ships can often be found loitering in orbit, selling the freighter crews cheap refreshments, salvage, and odd craft works assembled by their children. There are no ships in orbit at present, however. Nothing in the asteroid belt. Okay, so we got that one. Let's get the inners. Chohe. Or Chohe. Chohe is a terrestrial planet whose surface is mainly composed of aluminum. With a numerous deposit of calcium, though it has enough mass to retain a dense atmosphere, Chohe is nearly a vacuum. This lack of atmosphere allows a moderate average temperature, but the difference between day and night are extreme. The surface of Chohe, sunward facing side, is usually covered by a haze of volatiles, mainly water vapor and carbon dioxide, which return to the ground as frost over the course of a long cold night. The Zeta Foundation has established a research outpost on Chohe to investigate the native subterranean life of Chohe, which shows incredible resistance to extreme heat and cold. Zeta. An enigmatic terrestrial planet, Zeta has a hazy atmosphere of nitrogen and argon. The surface is scorching hot and mainly composed of calcium with deposits of sodium. 3 times in the last century, ships stopping to discharge at the Traiamus have reported geometric patterns of lights on the dark side of Zeta. Attempts at closer investigation proved fruitless. The lights disappear when ships approach the inner system. So we get this. There is something on the outer ring. No, wait, I got this one already. Okay, so we got all of it. Now, let's try to scan from the inside out.
I found something.
And there it is. 8 out of 10. Awesome. Credits recovered. So, yeah, we got this thing. There could be something hidden on the asteroid belt, but I'm not quite sure. I'm gonna scan near those two. Nothing. And now we're screwed.
Faster than light jump successful. Evasion successful. Reapers eluded.
I don't know where the rest is supposed to be.
Faster than light jump successful. Evasion successful.
Okay, there's nothing on Cacus. That's not good. So I have to get back there. There's not even a fuel station left. That is so not good. Oh yeah, wait, there's this fuel station here. Nice.
Reapers eluded.
Okay. Hades Gammas, not at 100%. That's not nice. Right. Protein artifact sounds really good. I should go back to Annos Basin and refuel. Wait a minute. Yeah, fuel station is all the way over there. Okay. 64,000 credits. Not enough. But we can do. So, rescue the Turian Primarch. Maybe. Sigurd's Cradle actually looks like an interesting thing to check out. How many are there though? I count 2 systems. Alright. Kaimowitz. Named for the 21st century pioneer of groundwater remediation techniques, Krimowitz is an impressive layer of ice over a stony metallic core. Despite its size, it has only one moon, Noah, which shares its carbonaceous composition, leading astronomers to believe it formed following a giant impact. Iridium deposits have attracted miners to the planet, who must work through robots and telepresence because of the planet's strong gravity. Not iridium. Almost the same thing. Pauling. A hydrogen-methane gas giant, Pauling's gravitational field is believed to have cleared most of what would otherwise have been sizable asteroid belt. The 2163 mission of the space probe Ultimate gave the inhabitants of Watson reams of data reinforcing this theory. Giving the colonists an accurate count of its moons, 66 rings, moon-like ring objects, and more than 200 impact craters on the surface of its metallic core, Ultimate has been since retrieved for reuse on subsequent missions within the solar system. Oh, look at that! There's a moon. There's Franklin and Crick. I think I scanned this one before. I know those names. Known for its spectacular geysers that can be seen from orbit, Krieg is a rock planet with expansive frozen oceans. Though it is within the temperature and pressure range for human habitation, its thick atmosphere is largely carbon dioxide and monoxide, making breath masks or environmental suits mandatory. The most abundant resource for exploitation are the potassium salts found in its seabeds, which fetch good price on terraforming worlds. Darwin. A mid-sized rock planet, Darwin is ironically named, being one of the worst places for life in the galaxy. Its atmosphere is punishing, its temperature boiling, its chemical makeup toxic. Carbon monoxide and methane wrap the planet in an unyielding haze, and scans of its surface show only silicates and molten tin. Its daily thermal fluctuations lead to hurricane-level vortices, 2 at each pole forming eyes, and can be seen from orbit. Despite all this, Darwin is still used for spacers as a drive core discharge point. Hydrogen pierces the clouds in the upper atmosphere, making for a relatively benign approach. And Wallace, very close to the Sun. An unusually small Pagazite or hot Jupiter. Wallace was originally an extrasolar planet that entered the system and was captured by the gravity well of the G-class star Skepsis. Tightly locked, Wallace's hot side reaches temperatures over 2,500 degrees Celsius. While not large enough, proportionate to the star to cause eclipses visible from Watson, it is easily seen at dawn or dusk as one of the brightest objects in the sky. And the little moon Franklin, a large moon. Franklin retains a trace atmosphere of carbon dioxide, but its desolate surface holds no sign of water or life. In order to defend Watson from the pirates of the Terminus systems, Franklin is home to 2 Alliance spaceports and naval bases capable of fielding 6 fighter squadrons each and a classified number of interplanetary ballistic missiles. Mass effect fields keep the gravity in its installations at comfortable levels for long-term living. And Watson. Watson is known in human media for 2 things: its spectacular tides brought on by a large moon, and the bureaucratic snafu over which Earth nations got to settle there first. Watson is a garden world, first discovered in 2165 CE, with credit claimed by the Chinese People Federations, the United North American States, and the European Union. The system's alliance brokered the infamous Reykjavik Compromise, allowing limited colonization from each coalition in cities comprised of populations from each nation. Watson itself trends colder than Earth, with a temperature zone measuring about 30 degrees latitude in either direction from the equator. Its life does not easily map to Earth's evolutionary eras. Some islands have species that resemble terrestrial placental mammals, others are overrun by arthropods. It is estimated that at least 2 more generations of xenozoologists will be needed to properly classify all the species of the planet. That one is supposed to be called Darwin, maybe.
Signal confirmed.
And we got Watson. Oh, no. Oh, there's still Reapers here. You gotta be kidding me. Only one Reaper figured it out, though. Only one. And there we have it. 9 out of 10. So there's one more thing that we need to find. Javelin missile launcher. Sounds like a good thing. You just go through space and you find yourself a missile launcher. Just think about it. That one was definitely not a good thing. It's probably a fuel station. No, we don't. Oh, no. Oh, come on.
Signal confirmed.
Okay, this is basically what you have to do. You just have to go around. And there's always a fuel station right next to the jump port. There you go. Dispatch 10 probes to retrieve people or resources in Reaper territory. Wait a minute. So it doesn't actually tell me how many of these things are there or not. Good to know, good to know, good to know. Anyway, this one we're gonna get once we get back here. Now we're gonna go to Decoris. 25%. Wait a minute. 25% means there are 4 of them in here. But I don't know where the others are. No, wait. This is 50%. Yeah, if this is at 100, then this one would be at 50. Right. What now? We didn't use the mass jump, we just went here. That's kind of weird. Laena. No, Laena. Cloaked is a methane-clouded hothouse planet. Its lack of a metal-rich core and significant magnetosphere allows for an easy scan, which reveals mining equipment on its surface. It can be deduced that this mining occurred within the last 5 years. Any longer and the machines would have been worn down to nothing by the excessive heat and dust storms of hot iron oxide. And Sanctum. We can land on it, good. Sanctum is proof of the old spacer adage. Just because it's a garden world doesn't mean it's a picnic. Freezing ice storms cover the poles and temperate zones, leaving a narrow strip of habitable land at the equator. Dry but windy, this area is home to Sanctum's minimal terrestrial plant life. The planet has yet to develop land-sized animals, though invertebrates grow quite large in its pelagic seas. Mining, referred to as ice cracking at anywhere but the equator, is a common employment on Sanctum. The planet is rich in platinum and palladium deposits, as well as boron, which is locally used in semiconductor doping. Travel advisory. Carbon dioxide levels on Sanctum can reach 5,000 parts per million during thermal inversions. Travelers should carry a breath mask at all times and consult the Sanctum's World Weather Service for warnings. Okay, we're not landing there yet.
I found something.
And nothing yet. I don't know if there are Reapers coming by or not. Or maybe if you can land on there, that means there are no Reapers coming. So there might be a safe space. That's pretty neat. Or maybe we just got really lucky. Also this one. Credits 10,000 again. Very good. So, it still is at 50%, so I don't know. Oh. Nice. Alright, while we're here, we're gonna land on Cerberus in the next episode, I would say. This one was all about talking and exploring and whatever. And, yeah. Then we're gonna do this little mission, and then we're gonna explore a little bit more in the next one. So, for now, like and subscribe, of course, is... Wait. There's more Codex. And we got ourselves some war assets. I want to check these out as well. We may have gotten very lucky. Why can't you just exit from both sides? That would be sweet. Oh, look at this. Crucible 50, and this one is at 690. We got a little bit of bonus points. The 103rd Marine Division. What happened here? The old saying, every Marine is a rifleman. We got this update. Nicknamed the Bright Burners, Team Zeta are combat engineers who specialize in destroying enemy fortifications in hostile territory. This tight-knit group of men and women are respected for their knowledge, renowned for their tenacity, and infamous for their enthusiasm. So they're good guys. Good to know. Alliance First Fleet. I read this. And the SSV Agincourt was one of many Alliance ships that saved the colony world Elysium from pirates and slavers during the Skillian Blitz in 2167. In order to stay with this vessel and crew, its captain refused promotion after the Blitz. Update. This fleet lost a third of its vessels protecting the council. No. This is the last update, and this is the one that we got. Nothing in the Alliance thingies here. Good. And the Crucible. Javelin missile launcher. Developed by the Alliance, Javelin missiles release dark energy upon impact. This creates devastating space-time disruptions, magnified warp fields that strip away a target's molecular bonds. Even the strongest kinetic barriers will eventually collapse after multiple impacts from these rockets. Alliance R&D commandeered several colony factories and now produces enough Javelin missiles for all dreadnoughts in the Allied fleets. Okay. So we got the good stuff. Nice. We got credits in order to buy stuff. Not enough though, in order to get the really expensive things. So that may be available once we finish some missions, I would say. But alright. There's still some stuff in the Codex. And there. Citadel and Galactic Government.
The Citadel is an ancient deep space station presumably constructed by the Protheans. Since the Prothean extinction, numerous species have come to call the Citadel home. It serves as the political, cultural, and financial capital of the galactic community. To represent their interests, most species maintain embassies on the Presidium, the Citadel's inner ring. The Citadel Tower in the center of the Presidium holds the Citadel Council chambers. Council affairs often have far-reaching effects on the rest of the galactic community. 5 arms, known as the wards, extend from the Presidium. Their inner surfaces have been built into cities, populated by millions of inhabitants from across the galaxy. The Citadel is virtually indestructible. If attacked, the station can close its arms to form a solid, impregnable shell. For as long as the station has existed, an enigmatic race called the Keepers has maintained it.
And the Spectres.
Spectres are agents from the Office of Special Tactics and Reconnaissance and answer only to the Citadel Council. They are elite military operatives, granted the authority to deal with threats to peace and stability in whatever way they deem necessary. They operate independently or in groups of 2 or 3. Some are empathetic peacekeepers resolving disputes through diplomacy. Others are cold-blooded assassins, ruthlessly dispatching problem individuals. All get the job done one way or another, often operating outside the bounds of galactic law. The Spectres were founded after the Solarians joined the Council. For many years they operated in secrecy as backroom problem solvers. Only after the Krogan rebellions did their activities become publicized. Assignment of a Spectre is less contentious than a military deployment, but makes it clear that the Council is concerned about a situation.
And we got a little bit more. Right, perfect. So, let's end this episode right now, which was all about talking, exploring, and figuring out how the scanner is gonna get you killed because of all of those Reapers coming at you. Anyway. Beware of those things, orient the Normandy accordingly in order to get a shortcut and a few seconds in order to run away from the Reapers. Alright, or fly, or don't really fly in space, there's no air. Anyway, like and subscribe, of course, as usual, and ta-ta!